Alright guys and gals, I'm going to put together a little video here for how I set up my 10 by 12 wall tent with my homemade propane wood stove and my homemade ridge pole and frame and side sticks there. So be a little few part process here, so stay tuned. Okay, I picked a nice little flat spot here. I've camped here before. It's late May 2022. Beautiful day in the Colorado Rockies. Gonna enjoy the weekend here. So I laid out my tent. I like to put the four corners in first. Here's my homemade pins I made, just spikes. I welded a washer on there. I paint them red so you can see them good. Here's my be my top rail and my support post for the center of the tent. This is top rail of a chain link fence. A couple connectors, a couple of corners, slip connectors, so it just goes up and across and down. So I'm going to next pin the corners and put this top rail together with the legs, and then I'll stand it up and I'll show you that. Okay, I got the center post in and the ridge pole. These are the corners. I got one down there. I'm doing this by myself, by the way, and it's actually pretty simple. I'm going to now put a stake right out there, so when I lift it up, I can take a guy rope and tie it off, and it'll hold until I get the rest of the guy ropes up. So I should mention this is Davis tent out of Denver. Bought this tent with my own money, not sponsored, not endorsed or nothing. It's just a great tent. I've had it for several years. I had it custom made. It's 32-inch sidewalls, so the peak is a little bit lower. Stays a little bit warmer. Perfect for a couple guys and gear. So you'll see more of that after I get it set up. So I'm gonna set it up now. There it's set up. The posts and ridge pole up, set up, and it's not going anywhere. I have my stake here and another one over there. I'll put out the guy ropes next, but yeah, this is it just stands up by itself. So like I said, I'm by myself, so it's pretty simple. And I think that peak is about 6 foot, so it's a perfect size for me and a buddy. So, well, I went around and got all the stakes in and the side posts. What I do, I save a couple of stakes and I double up 2 guy ropes on one stake. So I'm saving 4 stakes all in all. These tents come with can either be a vent or you can put a pole through there and make an A-frame. I've done that out of some old lodge pole instead of carrying all this the frame and stuff. One thing I did with my side poles here is I made a little notch for the rope to go in. It helps it nice and secure, and then I put the bottoms down there on the sod cloth to keep draft from going in there. Same on this side. So yeah, I mean, it didn't take me long at all. Let's go inside and I'll show you that frame. I might put a stake on that one side of that door, keep it pinned, and then I can just use one flap here to enter. So here's the framework, ridge pole and corners. If it was any longer, I'd put a support in the middle. But it's nice and clean, easy. The top rail and frame is a little bit heavy, but it's something you can get down at the local hardware store. But if it was gonna be bad weather, if I take this hunting, I'll bring a tarp, and I'll put a tarp over it just to shed the water. But it's waterproofed. It sheds water pretty good. Here's my stove jack. I got a 3-inch put in there, so stove will be next. But these are the 32-inch walls, and I did that so when I sit on an army cot, like right here, my head won't touch. So it's right like that. So it can save some space, save some height, keeps it nice and warm, but works for me. So anyway, I'll set the stove up next. So this is my propane tank stove I made. Pretty. Put some oil. Cut it in. Put a little grate in there. I carry some of this HVAC foil tape. That way, if I'm going to spend a extended amount of time, I'll tape these seams on this stovepipe just so smoke doesn't come in there. What I did for a spark arrestor is I took some hail screen, that's some expanded metal, looks like. Anyway, I crisscrossed it, riveted it in there, and then I put this collar on there so it stands off, not sharp, and doesn't cut nothing. So I'll get that in the tent next. Hey, I forgot to tell you, I made this little damper. I took some all thread and I drilled through. I took like a can lid. That's something a little bit heavier metal. I made I don't know if you see it down there or not, but it's got a wing nut there. It can damper it down, but this 3-inch, you really don't need too much of a damper. You can pretty much damper it on your door there. So, but I just want to show you that if you use a bigger stovepipe, you can make your own damper, and works pretty good. Okay, that didn't take long. I got the stove in there. You see, I got the tape there. I didn't put one on here. This piece actually comes off too, but I just had it on the stove. So let's see. Let's go outside and look. So I got good height for draft above the tent. And I actually put a piece of tape around that too, just to keep it rigid. And you got a nice tight fit around the tent there, so I'm ready to put up the cot and maybe cut a little firewood for later. Maybe I'll burn that. But more to come. Alright, I'm about done. I got everything about set up. Let me show you here what I got going on. I've only been here an hour and I'm done. It's pretty simple. I brought a little pack cot instead of an army cot, just since it's just me this weekend. Got my Big Agnes 0-degree Farwell bag there. I'm not going to need a 0-degree Farwell bag to this weekend, but I got it. It's light. It's nice. Little camp chair. Had a piece of scrap turf, artificial turf, kicking around home, so I brought that. So ground's still kind of damp from snow melt. Let me show you my kitchen stuff here. First off, these little dry bags you can get from Walmart they're pretty durable. I took a couple of those, actually 4 of those, to Alaska last year, and worked great. Put a carabiner on here to hoist up a tree if you want, and just a little single burner stove. Now these little things are pretty cool. They come like this: spoon, fork, and actually take this apart. There's a knife, spoon, fork, knife, but then you can turn the knife, put the knife inside the fork, and you got a nice long spoon or nice long fork to dig out your mountain house or whatever kind of food you're going to eat out of a bag, dehydrated food, freeze-dried food, whatever you eat. But they're nice, they're durable. They're called Yukos, so I've had good luck with that. That's it. I'm just going to probably kick back and get some firewood for tonight. It's probably going to get chilly. I'm about 9,500 feet here, so I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.